Thank you for joining us for a special episode of Poopology. Today we've got Nerida from Nerida on the Road, and she is visiting the Grand Designs Show. In keeping theme with our technology, Women in Technology piece, she's going to be interviewing some IoT stroke smart home companies.
Nerida!
On the road.
Hi, my name is Nerida. I am very excited to be here at the Grand Design Show at the Excel Center. My first victim is Josh from Cavious.
So we've got the UK distributorship for a range of alarm products. The brand is Cavious. It's Danish designed, and they can proudly claim that they've got the world's smallest smoke alarm at the moment. But they've got the whole alarm family, so right from the smallest, which is just a standalone battery unit, and then if you get slightly bigger, you've got ones that can communicate wirelessly, talk to each other, so that if one alarm goes off, they'll all go off. And then ultimately you can connect that to an app as well. So if you're out and about and something goes up, then you know straight away.
So you think being smart technology providers has its own benefits in a way? The technologies communicating together, it gives you more safe feeling? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And it's everything these days is just getting smarter. And this is a product range that is really keeping up with that. And in an area kind of product that not necessarily would have been smart before, obviously you've got equivalents out there at the moment. But this is the whole family, and the whole idea is that it all comes together as one smart range and gives you that feeling of safety and security.
And how do you control all this technology? There are multiple apps, or is it all like connected via one platform?
Yeah, so all the alarms will talk to each other, and then there's a little device called the Hub, which Cavious sell, and that connects to the Cavious app, and then you can see all the different alarms that you've got on the one app.
So is this the recent integration you've done with LumiPlug and Cavious, or has it been something that you plan to do for a long time?
So LumiPlug have known about Cavious, the Cavious brand, for 4 years now. They actually, funnily enough, knew about it before we got the distributorship, but we're now working very much with them, and they have got that same technology in terms of the app for their lighting.
Possible to just get a few questions about the whole idea, how you come up with it. And it's a smart technology as well. It's something brand new. We all trying to adapt to it. So
it is. It's. I mean, everyone's kind of grown up and taught that water and electricity don't mix. Myself, exactly the same. When I first became a fireman, one of the questions I asked at training school was, "What happens when you squirt water into a house that's on fire? Will it go bang?" And so, there are ways and means that you deal with it. So this concept came from keeping a promise to a family that lost two loved ones in a fire at a hotel, and I wanted to get to a stage where people could sleep safe, hence what I'm doing, which is developing fire safety into a modern lighting system to enable people to have fire safety built into their homes as standard. So it started off with a light being made waterproof and fire resistant up to 90 minutes. That enabled me to then put in a fire sprinkler inside, and from that point onwards, having a metal body enabled me to then use magnets to click in other products such as the world's smallest mains powered battery backup smoke and heat alarm that are radio linked, and that radio linking enables us to be able to work with smart home technology for the alarms, and we're looking towards moving stuff towards getting our lights integrated into online systems and voice control systems as well.
Yeah. So could you tell us more about the integration technology? The all smoke alarms, they, as I was already told, they communicate amongst each other.
Yeah, they do.
So what is that?
It's radio technology rather than Bluetooth. It's a unique combination of wavelengths that can only happen with the set that you set up at that particular time. You power up all of the detections you're putting in that particular property, switch on the pairing switch, press the button of one, that then connects to all of them automatically. When they all start chirping to each other, and it does sound like little chicks chirping, that means they're working. Flick the switch back off again, put them into the mains pack, slide them into the light, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it does sound simple, but it is super effective, and it's such a great sentiment behind it as well. Even the promise, it's a brilliant product. Have you got any plans creating more products like that? Something similar? Is there?
So we've got in the roadmap at the minute, we've got Wi-Fi and enabled speaker to go in, so you can have a music speaker operating within it, and also an IP camera so that you can see what's going on your phone from wherever you are inside your home. But instead of being stuck on the side, it's in the ceiling, so you get a great view.
Right. About changing the battery, what is the time for it? How does it?
Well, because it's mains powered battery backup, you really only need to change the battery once every 5 years, so it will chirp at you when it's time to do it.
Oh wow, this is brilliant. Could you introduce yourself first?
Of course. My name's Steve Detmer. I'm the product manager for Lutron's smart home products in the United Kingdom. That being both Radio Raw Select and Homeworks, which are our two leading residential products.
So could you tell us more about Lutron? What is your product? How long you've been doing this? How did it all started?
Sure. So Lutron was actually founded by Joel Spira, who invented solid-state dimming. So really every dimmer in the world is now based on a technology that he patented in 1959. Since then, Lutron's been a world leader in smart home and smart building, both commercial and residential, for lighting controls and smart blinds.
So it is a smart technology, as I can see. So how does smart technology changed the way people live and the way the industry itself? Is it for the better? Is it not for the better? Does it make it living easier? Is there more benefits to it?
I would say it definitely makes life better. The challenge with any new technology is working out some of the kinks along the way. So what we're seeing is an emerging market of smart home products, and there's some deviations to how different companies are doing it. But more recently, in the last, say, 5 years, that's started to solidify around some major players with Google Nest, Amazon Alexa, and Apple HomeKit are kind of defining ecosystems that other products can plug into, making for a more seamless solution.
So does your product communicate with the other products at the same time, like in a family?
Yeah, Lutron's philosophy is a bit of a mix on that. So we make our own ecosystem for the lighting and blind control so that we can control the entire experience. But we also integrate to industry leaders both in the consumer IoT marketplace, being Amazon, Google, and Apple, Nest, Sonos, and some others. And then on the more professional side of the marketplace, we do integrate to Crestron, Control4, Savant, RTI, Alon, the more bespoke solutions.
And could you tell us more about the app that you use? Is it easy to navigate? Because some people find the new smart technology, it might not be as easy to use. It might be overwhelming at first. So everyone tends to be more keen to use a smart technology of this, an app, more user-friendly.
Yeah, of course. It's an interesting space. Apps have all begun to somewhat follow the same format, and you can credit really Apple and Android with defining the development space there. So as you see more and more apps come out, they're following a similar template, which means people learn that language, and from knowing that language, they can then use the app more effectively. So in our development, we do spend a lot of time with end users to understand how they expect it to work, and we try to build it to their expectation as opposed to changing how they're going to use it. It's how we build it.
Yes, so thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for coming in. It's great talking to you.
We are here with Oliver from Automate, and we would like to ask you about your product. What do you do? What is the range?
We sell Locks-On, which is a smart home system. It's regarded probably more like a professionally installed system, so it's in the fabric of your home. I suppose it's easily described as a control system for your homes. It can control your lighting, heating, security, shading, you name it. If it turns on and off, it can be controlled. The idea behind it is you've got one system to control everything, so you can link together logic to do simple things like press a single button when you go to bed, turn your lights off, turn your security on, turn your heating down, so it brings it together. We find that if done correctly, the house basically drives itself, so it's automatic. That's what we want to happen, and thus people can get on with their lives and forget about the day-to-day.
And about the smart home aspect of the technology, how do you think does it help the whole industry at adding the smart aspects to the technology?
Yeah, I think there's two sides of things. There's obviously been a bit of a buzz recently with products like Nest and Hive and Ring, which we regarded as obviously smart as well. So what we do is probably an extension from that. It's a sort of more complete system. I think it helps to have more of an exposure of what's going on in your home. Certainly makes it more efficient. So, talking about getting the most out of energy for heating and lighting. And also it's nice to just be a convenient factor. You don't have to worry about your kids leaving the lights on anymore. You can know if your burglar alarm's on when you've left the house, and it just gives you more exposure on what's going on. So I think it's definitely an improvement on people's lives.
Also about what is the app? Do you have an app, or what platform is it all being used?
Absolutely, yeah. So the Locks-On has its own app which allows it to control the stuff connected to it, and that's where you can obviously have the day-to-day configuration, so you can change your lighting moods, as they're described as, levels of lighting, coloured lighting, etc. You can adjust your heating schedules, so on and so forth. So it all comes under one app, which is easily controlled.
Any other future integrations? Have you got a roadmap plan?
Well, there's roadmaps to develop the lighting products in particular. There's roadmaps to do more with solar panel and the energy that comes from that to help, again, be more efficient. So it's all about trying to develop products that can make people's lives easier. That's the plan.
Great. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Okay, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our special. We hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please rate, review and subscribe. And we look forward to seeing you on Monday with our very own 3-part series of specials coming all the way from Ibiza. Thank you.